The motivation of the secret mantrayana that is endowed with vast skillful means is mainly to keep the 5 perfections clearly in mind when receiving a dharma teaching. Take today's teaching as an example. While you listen, you should visualize the 5 perfections like this. The perfect place is to recognize that the place where the dharma is being taught is the palace of Lao's light of the glorious copper-colored mountain. The perfect teacher is to recognize that the teacher is actually Padma Sambhava of Adhyana and listen to the teaching with sincere faith. The perfect teaching is to recognize that the path of secret mantra Vajrayana is marvelous, vast, and profound. The perfect time is to recognize the fact that as long as there are fortunate disciples who have connections with the teaching, the Buddha's activity of teaching the Dharma is unceasing. The perfect retinue is to recognize that all who are gathered here are essentially Dakas and Dakinis, all of whom are Vidyudharas. Before receiving the Dharma teaching, you should first adjust your motivation to align with either of the 2 motivations mentioned above. Then, give rise to a heartfelt delight toward today's teaching by recognizing that you are different from other sentient beings and possess the 4 favorable conditions for practicing the noble Dharma. The 4 favorable conditions are having been born in the southern continent of Jambudvipa, a place that is very difficult to take rebirth in. Not only having obtained the human rebirth in Jambudvipa, but also having encountered great masters and qualified spiritual teachers who can teach you the Dharma. Having made aspirations and having accumulated merit in previous lifetimes. The first 2 conditions come from the latter 2. Fully endowed with these 4 favorable conditions, you should develop great delight because they enable you to have faith and conviction in the Dharma, which is a supreme condition for Dharma practice and distinguishes you from other ordinary sentient beings. One who wishes to practice the Dharma must possess these 4 conditions that encompass all favorable conditions for Dharma practice. Even though you have possessed the 4 favorable conditions, you cannot possess them forever. This life is not long-lasting and you are going to die, but when death comes is uncertain. At the time of death, except the Dharma, all other things are of no use at all. Being aware of this, you should resolve to practice the pure Dharma from now on. The Buddha taught the 84,000 categories of Dharma teachings according to various elements, capacities, inclinations, and intentions of sentient beings who are of superior, middling, and inferior levels. It is not necessary for you to grasp and practice each and all of them. The essentials of all these teachings can be condensed into the cultivation of compassion and faith. Compassion is developed by taking into consideration the physical and mental sufferings of all sentient beings and wishing to eliminate them by all means. The method to eliminate their suffering is to have strong and sincere faith in Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and to pray to them fervently for the elimination of sentient beings' suffering. You should be clear that only considering others' suffering without actually doing anything about it will certainly not alleviate their suffering even a little bit.